Hello and welcome to the Daily Meal for Sunday the 3rd of October 2021. And today in Millwall news there's not a lot going on, so on Sundays what we usually do, if you haven't watched this channel before, is we do a stats video based on yesterday's game, which was a 1-0 win away at Barnsley. Only Mill's 8th ever victory at Barnsley. And before we get into that, what I'm going to do is bring you this one story from londonnewsonline.co.uk, which is their 5 takeaways from Millwall's 1-0 win at Barnsley. Ballard the standout signing of the summer, and mood shift going into international break. So let's have a read of this. Millwall recorded back-to-back championship wins for the first time since Easter weekend, after following up on their midweek success against Bristol City with a late winner at Barnsley on Saturday to enter the international break on a high. Doesn't it feel good, everyone? The two Wallaces combined, Murray heading in Jed's corner to give the Lions all 3 points at Oakwell and move them up to 11th in the championship table, just 3 points outside the top 6. The Lions are unbeaten in 7 league games, although many of them are draws. Here are Alex Grace's 5 takeaways from the game. Back-to-back wins. Draws have been Mill's likeliest result this season, as they've been in the last 2 seasons. Garrett has been clear that his side need to turn those draws into wins. They are not to be in and around. If they are to be in and around the playoff picture, like Wednesday's fixture against Bristol City, there was not a lot in this game, but it was the Lions who created the better of the chances. Murray Wallace had the chance to break the deadlock in the first half, but somehow fouled. Grinding out results is something that Mill will need to do this season. We all know that goals do not come easy, but with a fully fit squad to come after the international break, it could be a different story. Well, what's happened is we're able to keep clean sheets now. And because we can keep clean sheets, because probably Hutchinson back and other players are back, because we can keep clean sheets, we are able to win because we cannot score more than 1 goal. It's the way we set up, the way we play. It's virtually impossible. I mean, I've just watched the Barnsley game back. I watched the whole 90 minutes. What I did notice that the front 3 players, Ojo, Phobie, and Jed Wallace, there's a massive amount of space between them when they line up. The flat 3. There's like at least 20 yards between each of them, those players. They're not able to play off of each other. I don't know why they line up like that. Surely one of them should be tucked in. The ball's on the left side, and then the other 2 should come over. It's easy to defend against because each player's isolated. And what that means is they're relying on the players behind to come up. And what that does then is leaves us vulnerable to counterattacks. And well, I'll get into that later. Ballard once again impresses. It's safe to say that Daniel Ballard has been Mill's signing of the summer. Absolutely. He has been an ever-present and has settled into life in the Championship very well. Making the step up from League One to Championship level is never easy, but he's taken it to it extremely well. His pass success rate of 73% is yet another plus, considering the style that Barrett wants to play going forward. The 22-year-old made a couple of vital interventions. One in particular in the first half, he stuck his foot in to make sure Corley Woodrow was unable to break away from the Lions' defence. Yes, that was an absolutely outstanding interception. Really good. He dived in. It was all or nothing. Get the ball or you're gonna look like an idiot. He got the ball. He dived in, got the ball away, and then he's on his backside. The ball was away, and yeah, he did it. Very good yesterday. Hutchinson shows why he's so important. Sean Hutchinson is not just a vital defender to Millwall, but he's also the captain. He is the man that leads the team and organises the defence. When he was absent, you could tell the defence struggled. Jay Cooper does not have the commanding voice of his captain, something I'm confident in the future he will learn to pick up. It's been no surprise since Hutchinson's reintroduction to the side that defensive issues have subsided. Back-to-back clean sheets are a symbol of that. Rao will be open to keep his star defender fit. Wallace Heaven. The name Wallace has a huge impact at Millwall. Everyone knows how important Jed is to Millwall, but Murray is also proving to be a key man. Many thought this season would see the defender who has never been called up for Scotland pushed to the sidelines following Scott Malone's permanent arrival, but it's been the opposite. He's been another stand-up player for the Lions, filling in at either centre-back or left wing-back. His late winner at Oakwell shows he can also be a danger in the box. Not only that, he was getting forward quite a bit, putting crosses in, and getting shots, because I'm saying the way the front three are isolated between themselves, they're relying on McNamara, Murray Wallace, Saville, George Evans coming forward and supporting them. They're not really able to work with each other. A big mood difference going into the last international break. The Lions had just about managed to beat a Blackpool side that played most of the game with 10 men, and very optimistic. How things have changed. In 4 draws, the last 2 performances have brought 2 massive wins and 2 clean sheets. The break comes at a good time to give a rest to those who have just come back from injury and illness, and to get those other players back and ready for the next block of games. It looks as if Millwall's season has finally started. Yes, indeed. And this kind of September, poor September start seems to happen. I mean, under Neil Harris, we poor Septembers as well. So maybe that's just the thing that we do. I don't know. But it's not. So that's the only story I'm going to bring you today. We're going to jump straight into the stats video, and here we go. This is experimental 361. This is expected goals, basically shots at or on the shots that are taken at, and they are on the goal. So, and then the quality of the chance. If it's a penalty, it will be a high XG, because that's a very likely chance you're going to score that. If it's like a long shot, it's going to be a low XG, because you're not that it's very rarely that those ones go in. They normally don't do much. So what we have here is the XGs over the length of the time on the pitch, and as you can see here reflected, the first 20 minutes Barnsley were all over us like a rash. They had a lot of corners, and we defended it, and set pieces, and we defended against them very, very well. Very, very robust defending from Millwall. And as you can see, at the end of the first half, Barnsley had the better of us. They had a higher XG. But over the 90 minutes, it's the XG was Barnsley 1, Millwall 1.5, and once again, Barnsley had enough chances to score at least 1 goal, but they did not, because the defence is a lot better now. Hutchinson back in it, a lot more tight, a lot more controlled, and we didn't concede. We kept a clean sheet. So you can see, look how many shots there's, but they're not good quality chances. They had one that jumps up a bit around about the what would that be, 7th minute, but then very small quality chances on both teams. Our first shot was pretty decent. I think that was the Murray Wallace one, and then so what did we have in the first half? 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 5 chances. They had a lot more. But you can see by the time about the 32nd minute, both teams are just don't really have a decent chance on goal until the end of the first half. And again, so quite notoriously, when looking at these, you can see over past games, you can see from the restart second half, we usually are not very good at starting again. We either concede very early in the second half, or we struggle and let the other team get into it. But here, they flatline from the start of the second half until about the 70th minute, the 68th minute. Then they have a very poor quality chance, very low uptick for them, and then they have another long period where they don't have a decent chance on goal. Then they have some really scrappy and poor chances on goal, but second half, not much going on for them. We had straight out from the start of the second half, we had a couple of chances. We went at them, but then we have a period where we don't really get a decent chance on goal. And then around about the 69th minute or so, decent chance for us. And then it's constant the staircase effect that you can see there. That's chance after chance after chance after chance, and that coincides with the substitutions that got made. Billy Mitchell coming on, Bradshaw coming on, Matt Smith coming on. So it seems the substitutions really helped our results up front, our efforts up front, our which I don't know if you've seen the video yesterday. The Barnsley manager himself even mentioned, he praised Matt Smith. He said, "Well, the big man in the middle, he changed the game." You can see it here when substitutions take place. Boom! It's all Millwall. It's chance after chance after chance after chance after chance for Millwall, which eventually, right at the end, we get the corner. Jed whips it in, and if Murray Wallace don't get it, Jay Cooper is gonna get it because they're both going in for it there, and it's a goal. Bang! Too little, too late for Barnsley to do anything about. What can they do? It's done, and they don't have another chance on goal after we score. Done. Finito. You can clearly see the substitutions making a difference here. Absolutely fantastic. Being able to bring fresh and fit players off of the bench to help the attacking and to have us have a chance of winning the game, and it does lead to the thing that now Matt Smith, like, that was supposed to be his original role, super sub, but you got a question right now. It's not really happening for Afobe. He started well, he done okay, but last couple of games since he had his injury, which was apparently his knee blew up or something like that, not really been all that. Shea Ojo, he's shown flashes of good stuff, but you wouldn't say he's automatic. I mean, he put one assist in for Matt Smith, but maybe Ojo and Afobe are not working. Maybe Ojo and Smith would work, or Afobe and Mason Bennett would work. Maybe you got to tinker around with the strikers up front to get the right combination, because Afobe's gone off the ball lately, which, when you've got the defense back being running on all cylinders, being able to keep clean sheets, you need the attack to start attacking and get the goals, and hopefully get more than one goal, and it's not really happening. So we will see. Let's have a little tinker up front and see if we can get the right combination to help us score goals and win games. So you can see here Murray Wallace 0.6 XG, and then Helic 0.3. That's the defender for them. I think he's a defender, and then 0.3 for Jed Wallace. So there you go. You can clearly see here Barnsley's really good start to the game. The first 20 minutes they had us. The rest of the first half they done okay. And then when substitution get made by Millwall, the switch is flicked, and it's literally a matter of time before we score. Luckily we didn't run out of time. We did get that goal. So let's move on now to here. So you can see here the substitutions here. Shea Ojo off for Tom Bradshaw. George Evans off for Billy Mitchell. Benicophobia off for Matt Smith. And all of those substitutions contributed to the turnaround of Millwall's fortunes. So they give the XG slightly different. Less for Millwall, 1.11. to 1.02. You can see it in the middle there above the FT. Let's have a look at the lineup. I don't rate the player ratings from this website. They always have weird player ratings I don't really agree with. So let's have a look. Who did they give man of the match to? Murray Wallace, absolutely yes. 9.06 for Murray Wallace, 8.86 for Jed Wallace, and I would probably agree with that. But then the rest of them, you can see they don't really give any decent marks for any other Millwall players apart from Cooper and Biakowski, which, yeah, I would agree with that as well. But low marks from, again, they always give the right wing back low marks. They did it when it's Marlon Romeo. They're doing it now as McNamara. No idea. Probably because he doesn't get forward enough. And this is like a XG based site, so they're expecting if you're involved in more XGs, you're gonna get a higher rating. So that's probably why that's happened here. But they give a low mark for Ballard, which I don't agree with. Hutchison as well. But the rest probably are Fabian, Ojo, and Saville. Yeah, I'll probably agree with them. There you go. So Starman, Murray Wallace, according to this website, which is infogoal.net. But the reason why I like this website is because they have. Oh, I'll bring you this first. So they've got the stats. So you can see here. First time, well, in quite a while, we had more possession than them. Very rarely we have more possession than the team we're playing against. So nice. 48 to 52. Attempts on target 3 to 7. Attempts off target 7 to 4. Block shots 4 to 6. So seven attempts on target, 1 goal. If you shoot and it's not on target, you're not going to score. So 1 in 7 for us, but 1 in 3 for that. Oh no, 0 in 3 for them. Sorry, yeah, they didn't score. So keeping them down to 3 shots on target was one of the reasons why we kept that clean sheet there. The goalkeeper saved 6 to 3. Their goalkeeper was very busy. Passes as well, we outpassed them by 100 passes. 358 to 457. Completed passes 228 to 313. Corners 5 for them, 8 for us. Yeah, I think most of their corners came in that first half spell when they were all over us like a rash. Offsides 1 to 6. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Again, a phobia offside quite a lot, I believe. Yeah, it just wasn't happening because they were isolated. So they were trying to get on the end of long balls and through balls, getting offside a lot. Fouls 10 to 5 for them. Very foully they were. Yellow cards 2 to 1. So that seems pretty fair when you've got twice as many fouls and twice as many yellow cards. Pretty decent. I thought the ref was quite decent. He tried to let the game flow a bit. But the reason why I like this website, which I told you about a minute ago, is this. They plot the XG on a map, and you can see where the chances are. Look at this. Oh my god, look at this. So they had so many long shots from these little white dots are them shooting from so far away. Why did they keep doing that? Was that a tactic they were told? Because of Biakowski last season he'd have an issue with long shots in a couple of games, which is a Forest game. Yeah, I don't know. Their best chance was this one. Yeah, Defonte Cole 1-on-1. He kind of hit it a bit early. That was the weird one when Hutchison had a bit of a mistake, a bit of a wobbly moment. Defonte Cole robbed him of the ball, ran through towards the goal, 1-on-1 with Biakowski. Biakowski coming out early and big, made himself big, saved it, patted it away, and that was it. And that came in that spell when they were all over us. And the other chances, not much going on there. They had one right up there. Yeah, not much going on, but you can see from Millwall again similar. Not many very good clear-cut chances. Just lots of headers and stuff like that, and scuff shots and stuff. I don't know if you can see it, the little blue dot with a yellow ring around it, that was the goal. And it seems there's like a little a line there, so that must be some kind of corner routine or something. Murray Wallace there. There's Matt Smith. Yeah, it seems they're trying to get on that back post. If it's coming from the right hand side or the front post, if it's coming on that side. So that seems like a pattern of corner routine there, and eventually it paid off. As one of those 5 chances went in. Okay, so fairness rating. Was this a fair result based on the chances created? And they give it an average 72.24. So, yeah, fairish. Not necessarily. It could have went a different way. Which, when you look at this and see, they had a better chance, better chance than us. We did get a bit lucky, it seems. Let's have a look at first half. So there you go. Look at that. Most of their chances in the first half, they were all of us. They were better than us in the first half. Night and day. Look at their chances compared to ours. But second half, look at that. The switch got flicked. What was that? 4 chances they had in the second half. 2 long shots and whatever the hell that was from that angle. It's so small I can't even click on it. Every time I click on it, yeah, just not happening for them, but happening for us. And most of these, I would imagine, came after the substitutions coming. So from the 75th minute onwards. Yeah. So the substitutions changed the game. So I don't know, well done, Gary Rowett, I suppose, for making the changes you made at the time you made them, and it seems to work out for the best. So let's move on now to this. This is whoscored.com. And what did I say? Match summary. Barnsley were effective at creating goal scoring opportunities from long shot situations. They were poor at finishing, yes. Lost possession often, yes. Gave away a lot of free kicks around the box and committed a high number of individual errors. They attacked down the right hand side and a high shot frequency when in possession. Favoured long balls. Millwall were effective at creating goal scoring opportunities from set pieces, were caught offside often. Played with width, attacked down the left side. Mr. Murray Wallace. And you can see now on the right, look at the top 5 rated players are all Millwall players. Murray Wallace again on this website, as well as the one I just showed you. Man of the match, 8.4. Absolutely brilliant. And oh my, he had the most shots. Well, him and Jed Wallace, 5. It's the left wing back having the most shots. And you look, compared to the top 5 shot takers. Where's Afobe? He's not on there. Where's Ojo? Not on there. Yeah. So let's see what they say. So attempts 14 to 17. So 9 to 11 open play, 5 to 6 set piece, and so we have 17 shots, 1 goal. That's 5% conversion rate. That is not very good at all. Not very good at all. Pass types. So they say we had 500 passes to their 386. Average pass streak 3. We had 23 crosses to them to 25 for us. 91 long balls to 89. 272 short passes to 386. So we were the short passing team this week, passing the ball around. You can see there they're going down the right and we're going down the left. So both teams going down the same side. Shot direction, does that? Not really. Shot zones. Yeah, half of their shots were from outside the box. Action zones. Yeah, very quiet in our third player positions. There you go. Look at that. Millwall clearly defined formation there. Absolutely brilliant. But you can see the isolation, the big gap. Not really working out there. And again, same as Bristol City, they're then packing in the middle there. They've got the 5 players playing in the middle of the pitch trying to pack us out. So it's a thing that seems to have been picked up on when we're playing 5-2-3, that they can overload the 2 and try and get something out of it. And that seems to have been picked up by Bristol City and Barnsley now. Packing the middle, trying to overload the 2, George Evans and George Saville, and putting pressure on the defence. It seems to be a tactic. Thankfully, it did not work against us, and we managed to win. Okay, so let's move on now to this. Here you go. So if you look at the top by the club badges, you can see the average player rating for the players 6.53. For Barnsley is 7 for Millwall, so definitely a lot higher scoring from Millwall players by 0.5 out of 10. That's very good. Big difference there. So Barnsley have 4 players with 7 or above, and Millwall have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players with 7 or above. So again, they say Ojo not very good, Afobe not very good, George Evans not very good for Millwall. They in terms of score. But what you've got to remember is those were the 3 players that were taken off, so they had less minutes on the pitch. Less for you to do to get your score up. So that might be a factor in that. Don't look too much into that. Although, if they're at the time of when they were taken off, if their scores were this low, that's probably one of the reasons why they were taken off. Factor. So it seems Rowett was looking at them saying, "Oh, these 3 players not playing very well." Maybe he looks at the score, because this is, I don't think this is live. It might be info goal on it is as live as you watch the game. You can see the XG. So if you're betting, it's basically a betting tool. If you're betting in play, because betting in play is massive now, there's a lot of money in it. You can follow the game, and if you can see that there's a team that's leading, but the other team's getting into it and getting more and more chances, you could bet on that team, because you can look at it and say, wow, look, the other team were lucky to be 1-0 up, and they're not really attacking anymore. They're trying to defend. And what happened when we tried to defend? We would score early on under Harris and such. Score early on and try and defend for 60 minutes. Well, how's that all going to work? Well, you know how that went. We either conceded quite often and didn't really win games like that, because you can't defend for 60 minutes. It's impossible. So maybe, I know Rowett talks about stats, so maybe he was watching the stats and thinking, oh, Phoebe, Ojo and Evans, their numbers are not very good. I'm going to switch them. Because Evans was injured in the first half. He was hobbling around. I know it looked like they might take him off. Maybe at half time they were waiting to get him through to half time, but he played on until like the 69th minute, got replaced by Billy Mitchell. So, but you can see that. So Billy Mitchell came off for Evans. He got 6.1, which is not as high a score as Evans got, which you expect. And I always saying this, if you get substituted and the player who comes on for you gets a higher score than you, that reflects poorly on you. Because if you've been playing for 60 minutes, he comes on in the 60th minute and then has 30 minutes on the pitch and he gets a higher score than you. He's had half as much time as you on the pitch, but he's managed to do enough things as better than you to get a higher score. So it didn't quite work for Billy Mitchell. We see Bradshaw and Matt Smith They came on for Afobe and Ojo. I don't know which. I forget which. Let's go up. So Bradshaw came on for Ojo. Matt Smith came on for Afobe. They got better scores than them. Bradshaw got 6.7. Ojo's 6.3. So that shows how poorly Ojo was playing. If Bradshaw can come on and get a higher score than him, and Matt Smith come on and get a better score than Afobe. So maybe Afobe and Ojo together not really working, like I said before. Maybe Afobe, since his injury is not something, maybe still injured, still struggling. But then Matt Smith, Guerrero doesn't want to play Matt Smith from the start because he can't really not really supposed to. It wasn't in the plans for him to play 90 minutes. And if you've got 2 games a week, he really can't do 90 minutes in a week. But so it seems Afobe, because he was the man brought in to be the man, he's playing, but he's not really doing it now. Something's happened. Maybe he's struggled playing him even though he's injured. I don't know. We will see, but I think maybe you've got to figure something out because well, I suppose you give him a chance, but it's frustrating watching the game going forward, and it wasn't just happening. It really wasn't happening, and we had to rely on set pieces. You bring these players in to not do that. We were doing that last season, relying on set pieces. So you bring Afobe in, and you bring Ojo in, and you bring Savile in, so we don't do that. So we can play through balls, we can attack on the counter with Jed Wallace, and play some normal football like a normal football team, and not rely on headers from corners and stuff. But it's not happening. Maybe it's the system, maybe it's the players. We'll see. So yet again, Murray Wallace man of the match, 8.4. Indeed. And again, Danny Ballard, Jake Cooper. So Jake Cooper, I think, really stepped up and took his chance. Last 2 games on the bench, I think he really did focus and buckle down and okay, I didn't like that being on the bench. I don't want to do that. And he really did step up. And you got Hutchinson, actually the lowest rated of the three centre backs there, 7.1, which is unusual. But Danny Ballard is basically the new Hutch, I think. Again, he's always consistently in the top 3 rated players. Now, if you go back over my previous stats video, I do a stats video for every game. He's always up there. So let's just run through all this stuff. So total shots, 14 to 17. There you look, only 1 shot, one for Afobe and Ojo. And again, look, Murray Wallace with 5, Jed Wallace with 5. You see the subs all getting in on it. That's what I showed you on that there. When the subs come on, your chances start getting ramped up. Possession wise, we have more possession, but which players for Millwall have the most possession? It's Dan, this left hand side. Cooper 6.8, Savile 6.5, Wallace 6, but Hutch in the middle 8. Yeah, the kind of Beckenbauer picking up the ball from both sides, spreading it around. Yeah. Pass success percentage quite low for 68 for the team. But again, Ojo very high, Wallace very high. It's now last season it was Ryan Woods with his sideways passing. Now that's gone. It was not really the central midfielders anymore. But Murray Wallace, his passing not the best, but that's because he was trying whipping those balls in. He was trying to make things happen, but it just wasn't. It, that's the thing. His score is high. He did a lot. He had the shots on target, but he's trying to make things happen, and it wasn't quite coming off. That's why his past success is 48. Dribbles, so not much going on for that for us versus them. They were doing a lot more of that. Aerials, yeah, Murray Wallace for 2 dribbles. He was trying. That's what you got to do. Aerials 1. Nearly double. 24 for them, 43 for us. All over the pitch. Except for Jed Wallace and Biakowski. All over. Absolutely brilliant. Murray Wallace 8. Jay Cooper 9. Fantastic. Tackle 16 to 17. There you go. Saville with 4. Nice. Corners 5 to 7. Jed Wallace took all the corners. And one of them was an assist for the goal. Dispossess is 12 to 7. You can see up front, because they're isolated. They were on their own. These 3 players up front. Very, like, you look at the graphic here and that they look close together. But Wallace was like way over where McNamara, in line with McNamara. Ojo was way over in line with Wallace. There was 20 yards at least between each player. That is not productive. It really isn't. But yeah, they got dispossessed quite often, probably because of that. They had no one to pass to, and they were easily surrounded. As soon as they got the ball, they had like 2 or 3 Barnsley players on them, and the other blocking their chance to pass the ball away. So there you go. Let's look into it in a bit more detail now. This is player by player ratings and whatnot. So let's have a look at touches. Who had the most touches from? Wow, getting up there. Murray Wallace 97, Sean Hutchinson 81, Jay Cooper 79. Nice. The ratings wise, Murray Wallace 8.42, Jay Cooper 7.78. You got 7 players from Millwall, 7 or above. Hutch all the way down in 7.13. Not a bit unusual for him. Bart Biakowski up there as well. That's like the 2nd game in a row. He's been quite high up there. So Danny Ballard, the last. Oh yeah, that was Danny Ballard's last man tackle. What I told you about. Diving in at Corley Woodrow, and diving in on his ass and getting the ball and kicking it away. Saving probably a likely goal. So let's have a look at shots. No, that's not good. There you go. So all of these players, 8 of them having shots, but how many were on target? That's what you need. Only 4. 7 players having shots. Only 4 players having shots on target. Shay Ojo 1-1, Matt Smith 1-1, Tom Bradshaw 2-2. So he comes off the bench. He has 2 shots. All of them were on target. And Murray Wallace. So maybe we should be playing Bradshaw and Ojo. Maybe that could happen. Because this is 2 games in a row. Phobia has not been at the races. And that's since he come back from his injury. So something's on his mind. He hasn't been as bright as when he first started. Murray Wallace though, 5 and 3. Absolutely brilliant. Let's move on now to offensive situation. On this one, we want to look at the unscheduled touches. Basically, poor ball control. A lot of that going on. George Savon, Shay Ojo, and Jed Wallace. Okay. Dispossessed. They lost the ball. Okay. Defensively, let's have a look at this. Tackles. There you go. 8 players having tackles. George Savon with 4. Danny Ballard 3. Hutch, Cooper, McNamara, Ojo. Nice. Ojo with the tackles. Sweet. Interceptions: Hutch 4, Cooper, Evans, Danny Ballard, Benicophobia. Weird. Clearances: Cooper 5, Danny Ballard 4, then 1-1-1. So Phobie quite doing some defensive stuff. Block shots: 3 of them. Fouls: so who gave away some fouls? So not a lot of that. Passing wise, let's have a look. Who had the most passes? Hutch, Cooper, Saville, and so you can see that. So Phobia and Ojo, and even Jed Wallace, their passing numbers are way down because they weren't getting the ball because they were isolated, and because they were isolated, when they did get the ball, they didn't really have anyone to pass to. They had to hold it up and wait. So, not really happening. Yeah. So in terms of this, what is it? So we've got passing and pass accuracy. So again, Ballard stands out there. 51 passes, 72 accuracy. So a high number of passes, but a decent level of pass accuracy. Or Hutch, of course, 70 and 70. That's very good. Ballard 51 72, and Jed Wallace 29 82.8. McNamara 28 75. Okay, now we get into the thing. Crosses and accurate crosses. Jed Wallace 16 and 5. Murray Wallace 3 and 0. McNamara 3 and 0. Ojo 2 and 0. So the only person to put in, or let's have a click. Yeah, the only person to put in accurate crosses, basically. Well, that, you know what that is though. That was probably the corners, because when you take a corner, you're aiming for a man. When you're doing a cross on the run, on a counter, on a dribble, you're probably just whipping it into space. You don't want to pass it to someone. You want to pass it to where someone will be. So that's probably what that's about. So 16 and 5. So yeah, long balls though, and accurate long balls. So 16 and 7, and Hutch nearly had as many long balls as Bart Biakowski. 15 and 7. So just under half. That's just under half were accurate from both of them. Jay Cooper 12 and 4. Was that a third? Is that a third? Yeah. Danny Ballard 12 and 4. George Saville a bit better, 9 and 4. Murray Wallace 7 and 2. McNamara 6 and 2, 6 and 2. Jed Wallace decent 2 and 2. Benicophobia 1 and 1. Yeah. Okay. But again, so let's have a look at the ratings again. There you go, and let's just show you. So Billy Mitchell, the lowest rated, 6.1, but he only had what was that, 22 minutes on the pitch. But you can see he's scored compared to George Evans. He's nearly up to him, 6.1 to 6.38. But compare Afobe and Ojo to the players that replaced them. The players that replaced them got a higher score. Matt Smith 6.61 compared to Afobe 6.2. And then compare Bradshaw 6.70 compared to Ojo on 6.27. Maybe it's the rain, maybe the weather. Maybe Afobe and Ojo are not too keen on that weather. It really was a rotten day, raining all day long. I don't know, just chalk it up. Maybe it was just an off day, but that's like the second off day in a row for Afobe since he's come back from his injuries. Something's not quite right there. We shall see. Maybe the front line needs to be tinkered with. I mean, everyone assumed, and I think Rout assumed as well, that the the better players were Phobie and Ojo, and then Jed Wallace. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's Bradshaw and Ojo. Maybe it's Mason Bennett and Ojo. Maybe Mason Bennett. Can Mason Bennett play the point man? He's got the strength to hold the ball up. He's not really tall. He doesn't really jump though. So don't know. Maybe it could be Ojo, Bennett, and Wallace. Can you imagine that? The pace in that, especially if we're playing against a team that's attacking us. We got counter in them. That would be something. Maybe that's something that needs to be looked at. But we will see. As long as we can keep a clean sheet, we can win. It might only be a 1-0 win, but that's all you need. And it seems that's what's happening now. So we're playing Luton at home. Now they have really come on leaps and bounds. In our next game, we play them at home, and they're not what people expected them to be. They are a lot better. The signings they've made have been really shrewd, and they are they're a decent team. So that's not as easy as it sounds. And then shortly after that, we've got Sheffield United midweek, again a home game. So yeah, international break, and this game here was Gary Rowett's 100th game in charge. Now, because it's the international break, I might at some point, if it's a quiet day, do a little roundup of Gary Rowett 100 games in review. How's he done compared to, maybe comparing him to other Millwall managers, or comparing him to himself? I don't know. We shall see. I'm pretty sure there's an under 23s game this week as well, so I'll talk. I've got Loan Watch as well, so Loan Watch tomorrow probably about how the loaned out players got on. But for this video, for this Stats Sunday video, that's it. Thank you for watching and goodbye.